Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Eric the Cosmic Wizard, and this is going to be a reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Alright, Scorpio. So, I want to say the Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, and Aquarius, your video is coming. I had a long weekend. I had a lot of stuff going on. I had a wedding to go to, so that's why the last four are delayed. And just thank you guys for those. I did not expect my videos to start getting like, some of them have like 100+ views already. So that's amazing. I know I just started this channel again. So thank you. So let's do some, what's the T cards? These kind of just are oracle cards. Let's just get an overall sense of what's going on for you, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Ooh. It says cock blocking. That's interesting. So Scorpio, you could be going through a dry spell, or you could be going through a moment where you are, I feel like you may also be trying to cock block somebody else, maybe? Let's see what this is all about. Cock blocking. Ignoring. Okay, so I feel like this could be you cock blocking yourself, maybe by ignoring someone who's been like thirsty for you, or maybe you feel like someone's ignoring you. Take it how it resonates. Reverse it if you need to. Apply it where it has to be, and if it don't apply, let it fly. Oh, and moving. Okay. Scorpio, you could be getting ready to move. I'll take these bracelets off because they make too much noise. Alright. So let's get into this reading and let's see what this is all about. I'm trying to get this thing closed. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Why won't you shut? Anyway, there we go. Alright, we got the Light Seer tarot card deck that I'm going to be using today to help bring in these oracle cards, and let's see what this message is all about. Alright guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button before we get started, please, or wait till afterwards. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you like the videos, if you do or you don't. If you think I'm talking too much, if I'm boring, please let me know. I want to make these videos helpful for you guys, so let me know what I need to do. Okay, the Seven Pentacles in reverse. You could have been in an energy where you were not wanting to revisit something from your past, or you were looking at something that happened unfavorably, I feel like. Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, so you may have had a lot of energy here recently around wanting to come out of conflict, or you could have been replaying maybe some message or some type of conversation or some kind of argument or disagreement you had with someone here. This could have been a significant person in your life, like a lover or someone. All right, in the present moment, we have the Nine of Cups here in reverse. So I feel like you could be going through a little, you could be indulging in other ways, or maybe you are purging yourself of, like I said, cock blocking. So you could just be purging yourself emotionally of things that no longer serve you. But I feel like you've been also in this energy of like, I feel like maybe you, I don't want to say you've been like drinking a lot, or maybe you have been prioritizing other things that weren't always so important to you. Ace of Wands. Yeah. You don't want to, there's something about moving here. With this moving, the Ace of Wands in reverse, you may be hesitant to move towards something or start a new project or a new, I don't want to say project again, but something here that is blocking you. This Ace of Wands is like, there's a delay in you, like maybe there's a delay in you moving because you've been neglecting your spiritual work here with the Nine of Cups in reverse. You could also have not been very focused on your spiritual endeavors, or maybe you're ignoring something here. The Queen of Wands in reverse. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you, Scorpio. You guys are being very hard to read per usual. But with the Queen of Wands in reverse, I feel like a piece of your confidence has been, I don't want to say destroyed, but maybe you're not feeling the best about yourself right now. And I think it may have something to do with somebody is ignoring you. Somebody, or you're ignoring somebody. You are not in communication with someone here. And it is been for some time now. Could have been 7 months or 7 years, 7 days. However long it takes. Hold on one second. Hey, I'm filming a video for my YouTube right quick. Let me call you back. What you want? Alright. Sorry, y'all. But I feel like there is a blockage here. There was something here. Something happened between you and somebody else. I feel like you could have got into it with somebody and you've just kind of been stuck in like this pattern here. Someone either walked away from you, a relationship ended. Let's see. Yeah, it could have been a relationship ending. Why do I get the sensation that like you are, I feel like you are really safeguarding your emotions in this time. For some reason, I feel like you, Scorpio, you are having a very hard time really expressing how you truly feel. I'm going to get into this a little bit more. Let the Fool here. Ooh, the Two of Pentacles. So, okay, so you are regretting a decision that you feel like maybe you foolishly made in the past. Maybe you regret making a big purchase. You regret maybe even giving this person the time of day, depending on how everything is playing out, or this person regrets giving you the time of day. I feel like someone has some regrets, and they have the Fool, and we have the Two of Pentacles here. So someone's trying to balance out like the practicality of something here, or they were trying to. Yeah, and then we have Justice in reverse. I feel like you feel like you made the wrong decision, or like life is not going your way. Or, no, I wouldn't even say or, because I feel like everyone involved in this reading, you and your person or whomever, if this is a reading about work, I feel like you are not happy in your career. Maybe you impulsively quit your last job, so you're in a job that you had to take just to take one, and you don't feel like you're moving away, or you're not moving in it well. But I feel like you're just very unsatisfied right now, Scorpio. And that makes me, yeah. The Dark Knight of the Soul, the Nine of Swords here in reverse. You are here coming up soon. I feel like you're going to go through some big soul crushing moment here. I don't want to say depression or anxiety, but there's going to be a moment when you are going to be called to maybe look at yourself and hold yourself accountable for some of the things that have gone on in your life. Like, if you aren't happy with where you are in life, there's a very big possibility that you are part of the problem. And it's not always easy to say that to ourselves or about ourselves, but I feel like you, Scorpio, you're very good at having those uncomfortable conversations with yourselves. You may not, share it publicly, but I think you definitely know how to go deep and ask yourself the tough questions here. And I feel like you have to really do some soul searching. You have to really dig down and see what's going on, because there's something here that you are not trying to change. You keep ignoring, right? So we have cock blocking, ignoring, and moving. Like, I feel like you are in the present. You are ignoring your emotions. Like I said earlier, I feel like you're not being very fair to yourself, because what you're experiencing right now, to me, Justice in reverse, like, this is your karma. Like, this is the fruits of your labor. Like, the Seven of Pentacles here in reverse, the Five of Swords. Like, you were reckless. you or someone around you were reckless when it came to a relationship or a career or something. Like, even just in general, you've been, maybe not a reckless isn't the correct word. A lack of doing your due diligence, perhaps, is what I'm trying to say here. You may not have vetted out what needed to be vetted out as thoroughly as you should have. Like, okay, let's say you were looking for a job and you went online for this, Indeed or Glassdoor or whatever, LinkedIn, and you saw that they were hiring, and you just kind of like scrolled through the description and you were like, okay, the salary is 100K, cool, whatever. Requirements, masters, this, got it, cool, whatever. But you didn't really look at the job description. You didn't check out the reviews from the company's website or Google or Indeed or whatever like you could go and check these different companies' websites and see the reviews. Maybe you didn't do that. Maybe you didn't ask certain questions that you should have asked during your interview. So now you're in a position where you're like, oh man, I can't believe this job sucks. Like, they lied to me and they didn't tell me. When it's not that they didn't tell you what you were applying for, you didn't pay attention. It's like, they just say the devil's in the details. You didn't look at the fine print and you just signed the contract. So don't be in such a rush that you like make these really big, slip ups where it can cost you a lot. And Scorpio, that's normally not like you. You're pretty practical, and you're pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Calculated, like in a good way. But there's something here where this full card and this Two of Pentacles. You decided to, like, I don't know. I think you decided to go against your better judgment here. Or you were in a place where your head and maybe your finances were saying it was a good idea to take this opportunity, but you knew it wasn't. So now you're paying for it in the present. It could be a relationship with this cock blocking. You could have been, let's say you weren't maybe the most attracted to this person, but this person seemed to give you the time and the attention, so you went with it anyway. Well, now this person won't leave you alone. They're stalking you. They're bothering you. Like, they're destroying every relationship in the future for you, or this person may have brought something back to you. You might have got an STI or something, I hope not. Ooh, shoot. Oh, the Hangman in reverse and the Ten of Wands. Maybe you did. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe you did. Let's hope not. I hope no one burning y'all. I hope y'all ain't out here burning nobody either. Knight of Swords and the Empress. There is definitely a call. I feel like you are being called to maybe like take a break, relax. Don't stress yourself. Oh my God. What is going on? These cards don't want to stay. Y'all are in your head. There is a lot going on in this freaking reading, Scorpio. But you know what? You need to push through it, because I didn't really want to do this reading. Not because I don't like you guys, just because my energy has been feeling weird today. Like, it's just been feeling off. I had an interview for a new job, and I was like freaking out about it because I haven't had a job interview in like almost 10 years. And I just felt drained, and I'm still feeling drained, but like I need to come and show up, and I need to be consistent. And I feel like as much as we hate it, like, we have to be consistent. So this Ace of Swords and this Nine of Swords, just like depressive, like anxiety, you got to come about that. You have to come about that. You got to fix that. If that's something that you struggle with, like me, like, you can sometimes feel like it's just damn near impossible to do something if you don't want to do it. I'm like that. And if you feel like that, and I'm picking up this energy of like, you're in the present moment right now. You're kind of just ignoring what you really need. But also, you could also be ignoring, and hopefully you are also ignoring the voice that's telling you, don't try. Just accept whatever's happening to you. Just do the easy way out. Don't try to, you can't do this, you can't do that. I hope you're also ignoring that voice. because it's so easy to focus on the bad voice that's telling you, you know, that you suck, and like is reinforcing all these negative things that aren't true about you. And it's like the ego's way of keeping you small. And if it keeps you small, you're not a big target. So it's telling you like, oh, man, you don't even try calling that person back. I know you missed them, but don't call them back. Or, you know what, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, it wasn't your fault. You didn't mean to cheat on them. You didn't mean to lead them on, or you didn't mean to do this. And you have to ignore voices that are harmful. And sometimes it can be really hard to decipher which ones are harmful, because sometimes what's harmful doesn't sound harmful. It can sound very toxic positive. You know, it could sound like, for example, you know, some people are really big into like this culture of, and I'm not saying anything wrong with it, with you know, going no contact with like parents and grandparents and people. And I think that for some instances, you know, where you've been abused as a kid, I don't see the reason to try to mend that relationship. And I definitely don't think it's up to you. If someone's been abusive, in however capacity they are abusive, you know, fuck that person. And it's hard, and it's not easy. But if it's something where it's like, you know that the person's also trying to meet you, but like, for an example, like, I'm not very close with a lot of people in my family. And it's not because there's anything like super major, like wrong or bad or anything. We grew up kind of like very scattered, like me and my siblings sometimes. So we don't really talk as much as I would like. I wouldn't want to say that I'm like no contact, but I've definitely, there's moments where I'm like, I need to reach out more. And I stop myself because I feel like, you know, oh my God, like why would this person, they probably don't want to talk to me, and you never know. And it's like, you got to ignore that voice, and you need to not cut people off who are also trying to make an effort. But I don't think that's what's going on here. I don't even know where I was going with that. I don't know why I had to say that, but I was talking about like toxic positivity, like, you know, cutting people off. Sometimes you need to, but sometimes I feel like we get into disagreements with our parents. Like, I don't think cutting your parents out of your life because they have like different political views sometimes would be, sometimes we fake the fallout. You know what I mean? Whereas like you really wasn't feeling this person, this connection to begin with. So you're looking for a reason to justify it. And right now, let's say you and your mom have never been cool. Maybe, let's use a hypothetical. Let's say you're a LGBTQ plus member, right? And your parents have a hard time, but they're trying to accept you, right? Now you're using Trump as like, you know what? You're a Trump supporter. You kind of iffy on the, well, let's go no contact, and I don't want to be a part of your life. Like, that could be a little like, and you're telling yourself, you know, these people are toxic, these people are bad for me. And it's not necessarily that they're toxic or bad for you. They just have distorted thinking, and you have an opportunity where you can maybe help them. And it could be hard for you too. And it's not your job to help people, but, you know, maybe it wouldn't hurt, you know. Just something to think about. All right. And then, Five of Wands. Yeah, you're going through this moment of, you're like forcibly growing is what I'm hearing. The universe, spirit, your guides. What do you want me to tell Scorpio? Because I feel like what you're telling me is that they need to not give up on themselves in this moment. And to stop ignoring, because there's big changes coming. There's going to be big things moving. Cock blocking. You could be blocking your own blessings. I think this attitude that you may have been in, maybe you're starting to realize the self-sabotaging nature that you have. The King of Cups and the Hermit here. Scorpio. Scorpio, I think you need to really come out your shell a little bit here. And what I mean is, Scorpios tend to be more of a, Libra sucks all. I'm gonna say Libra takes all the energy, right? Libras, Leo, Sagittariuses are like very like extroverted, like take up all the oxygen, need all the attention, and not like in a bad way necessarily, but they're just very people oriented people. And Scorpios, you're kind of more in the cut. You're like laid back. You're more, you're like the spouse of like the really, the woman that likes to throw the parties, or you're someone. I'm not saying like you're not like fun, but it's like you like to be in the background, and I'm feeling like you're not really giving yourself the spotlight and the attention that you deserve. You tend to make yourself small, and you shrink yourself, and you think that it's because you're humble and all this bullshit, but it's not. It's like insecurity, and you're trying to package it as like, I just like to lay low, and it's like that's fine and all, but it's time to step up, and you keep running and ignoring from the stuff, and it's just going to make everything worse. It's going to end up not being good. And like, you are an intuitive, deep, intellectual person, and the world shouldn't have to be denied your brilliance because you don't want to. It's crazy though, like you can see everyone else's inner soul, and I think sometimes you need to also look at the light that you have. Like, you can be very dark, but you're also very light, and you need to balance the dark and the light aspects of a Scorpio. We tend to think of Scorpio in a very, like, I don't want to say negative, but like a dark, kind of like a Capricorn, where it's like your attributes are more towards a service to self polarity, where it's like you're really focused on your needs and what's important to you. And that's not bad. But we live in a world that tells us that we need to be selfless, while in reality, the people telling you to be selfless are some of the most self-centered, egotistical, narcissistic assholes in the world. And they tell you to be selfless so they don't have to, And I feel like you need to call people out like that, because you have like this mystic ability to like really see people for who they are, and almost like an instant. Like, you're really good at like spotting out fakes and phonies and just shitty people here, people who have bad intentions. And like but you also have a hard time sometimes, in my opinion, speaking up when you need to, or like talking that good shit when, the person, I don't want to say you talk behind people's back, but it's like, sometimes you be holding back sometimes because you're afraid of being perceived as the villain sometimes, because you have been associated with the villain role in the zodiac. You and Capricorn kind of go. I mean, your signifying card in the tarot is the Tower, which is like the second least favorite card. People like, I love the Tower. To me, the Tower means that it's clearing things that no longer need to be there. You guys are transformative. You rule the house of transformation, which means you are magical. You are the gatekeepers to magic. So you got all this power, fucking use it. Use it and like in a way that helps you, and not just you, but everybody, because you have such an important role here on Earth, Scorpio. Most of you, not all of you, but most of you. And then I just want you to realize you need to take some more accountability, but don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up, but acknowledge the role that you play and you feeling like this, I struggle with overeating and my weight. I can't blame, Reese's Pieces for tasting so damn good. I have to control myself. I'm not saying I can't have any. I just can't eat the whole goddamn bag, So work on you. Work on things that are going to bring you happiness and fulfillment, and I think you'll be okay. I think, I don't really know if this reading is... This reading is for you. It's about you. It's not about a relationship. It's not about a career. some of that might be intermingled in and applied where it needs to be. But to me, I feel like this is about you and how you're feeling right now. I want to talk to you. You could be going through any of these situations. You could be going through a relationship where you and your significant other are falling out, or you could be in a position at work where you feel like you're not being heard and you have all these really good ideas but people aren't listening to you. You could also be the person that is not listening to the good people around you, and now you're starting to regret and see like where are all the parts that you fucked up at. It's because you're ignoring something. You're blocking something, or you're being blocked. You're ignoring something, or you're being ignored. And you may have to move. Like, you could be losing your job. You could be looking for new jobs. You could be out of a relationship. You could be getting, you know what, you don't want to change. You don't want to acknowledge you're wrong. So we're getting divorced, or you have to leave. You have to move out. You know, and it's like, don't let your life fall apart, Scorpio, because you don't want to. Yeah, don't let your life fall apart. I just heard. Don't let your life fall apart because you don't want to do the inner work that you call other people out for. That's deep. You have to walk it like you talk it. With the Justice card here in reverse. I feel like you have been in this negative modality because, look, there is like the good karma or dharma, I guess, and then look at that. You're thinking about the negative aspects of karma. You know, my fiance, you know, let's say, for example, oh, my fiance cheated on me. And then, like, you know, you're looking at the karma of, you know, I hope she gets, you know, knocked up or no, maybe something like that. Like she gets, you know, I don't know, she gets like a little STI or something. Where it's like, that's not really your karma. Your karma would be, yeah, this hurts that their significant other is, you know, unfaithful, but maybe that leads to you breaking up with this person and you meeting someone who is going to treat you right and not going to do those kind of things to you. So don't look at karma as being someone's punishment for how they treat you. Karma is the consequences of your actions, honestly. So, you know, someone cheated on you and you left them, good. So now the universe is gonna bring someone better in. So don't look at it as there was this lady, oh God, what's her name? Not Dolores Cannon, but she does these channel messages from this being she calls Abraham, and it talks about this vortex, and it talks about how, you know, sometimes us people as humans, we look at things that happen to us that are what we call negative as like these like signs of like we're on the wrong path or like we're not doing the right thing. But really, like, those negative events are just catalysts for growth and evolution. And it's almost like, Scorpio, you guys rule transformation, right? So let's talk about the Tower, the Tower card. The Tower card often depicts, you know, a lightning bolt hitting this tower and it's collapsing. And it's a very kind of like morbid, dark, scary image. And a lot of people, when I do readings, they'll be like, oh my God, what does that mean? And I'm just smiling. I'm like, I love this card. I don't care if it's reversed or upright. Because to me, what I interpret it as, the Tower comes in and it clears things that no longer serve you. Things that you will not rip out of your hand or let go of that are not serving you. Maybe it does it in a like a 1, 2, 3 rip the band-aid off moment, and it's not, okay, we're gonna massage, we're gonna put some oil around the bandage, and we're gonna try to loosen it up. No, the Tower's like, we need this shit gone now. We don't have time to do all that. That's taking too much time. And you're like, oh, that hurt. But only for a second. Only for a second. And you're over here, you know, trying to put the oil on to loosen it up. And you're slowly peeling. Like, have you ever, like, slowly, like, peeled, like, a Band-Aid off or something? Like, you, like, slowly feel each little hair getting ripped. The Tower is like, ow! Okay, it's done. It's done. 2 seconds later, you know? That's the Tower card in a nutshell. That's Scorpio in a nutshell. You come in, you say some shit that's real and deep. People get all in their feelings. They get all butt hurt. But that's your job. And it's not to be a mean, shitty, evil person. You have to keep us in check, the rest of us. Me, Pisces, I am so in like my delusion, dreamy like state all the time where, I'm going to be this and I'm going to do all these things. And then reality is like, it's only 24 hours in a day. And yeah, like your chances of being, let's say, a pro rugby player is like done for. You're 34 years old and you've never played professional. They're not drafting people into the, you know what I mean? I'm just hypothetical, but I'm just saying, like, my chances of becoming I don't know, a celebrity for whatever, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to think practical. You have to bring people back to earth and say, you know what? Yeah, Eric, I know you want to be the next Sylvia Brown, but, like, come on now. Do you really think that this is the life path that you're really supposed to be doing? And it's not to crush my dream, because maybe I am going to be the next Sylvia Brown, or a better. I don't know. I don't really like talking to dead things. But, where was I going with this? I get too distracted. That's the point. In reality, I get distracted easily. And let's be honest, Sylvia Brown probably was a little shady at some times. I don't know. Her son seems totally shady. I don't know if you know about Sylvia Brown's son, but he also was like an ex, allegedly. There's a really good YouTube documentary on Sylvia Brown and how I used to watch Sylvia. If you don't know who Sylvia Brown is, she was a medium or a psychic or whoever you want to call it. And we got really big and popular on the Montel Williams daytime show in like the 90s and stuff. And Montel Williams was like this like cool, bald, like pre Steve Harvey kind of like black dad kind of, made white people feel safe kind of black guy. And he had this psychic Sylvia Brown, and she would, she'd come in and she sounded like she smoked a pack of Parliaments like by the hour. And people in the audience were like, Sylvia, my uncle died, and I feel like, I've been getting messages from him. And she had like these long nails, and she'd be like, yeah, your uncle, he's telling me a message. He said something about stop eating popcorn in bed, and like you need to get your left breast checked. There's a bump over there. And then the people will be like, oh my God, I just got diagnosed with breast cancer 2 days ago. And you'd be like, oh my God, this shit has to be fake. And then there was times where she was just so off, and she would help like these people with missing kids, and like she was like, oh no, he's dead. He's dead. He's been chopped up in Mexico, and his body is being, and it's just like, and the kid was found like a week later. You know what I mean? So, I'm not saying that, you can't be psychic and get it wrong, because we're not perfect. We get distorted, channel messages from negative things intercepting us all the time. Blah, 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 blah. Needless to say, where was I going with this? I always forget the moment. I always get so deep into the rant. I might be the next Sylvia Brown, okay? I don't know. But Scorpio, you tell it like it is. And sometimes people need to be brought back to earth. But the way you do it, don't change how you do it. Just change the reasoning as to why you're doing it. You're not doing it to be petty, deceitful, mean, condescending, vindictive, nasty. You come from a place of love. And remember that. And if you hold that intention, it will magnify in its intensity when you actually talk to people, like in your however way you do. You get completely, You can completely cuss somebody out with kindness and just be like, you know what, I'm so sick of your fucking bullshit. Like, you do this shit every day. You fucking talk so bad about yourself and you just like treat yourself like shit. You don't fucking care about yourself. You don't take care of yourself. And it's like, why do you want other people to sit around and fucking tell you all these good things about yourself when you don't even believe them? So I'm just wasting my time. Like, bitch, how many times I gotta tell you you're fucking pretty every fucking day? Like, you're pretty. Okay. Get your confidence up. Sometimes, you know, like that's like cussing somebody out in like a nice way, because it's like, I'm sick of doing this shit with you. You know, it's like, you got this shit, Scorpio, and I'm talking to you like that too. You got this shit, Scorpio. You got it. Get your confidence up. Stop ignoring the shit that you know you need to do, because you're hella intuitive and you know what the fuck I'm talking about. So let's not act dumb. And you need to move. You need to move out of, maybe it's a metaphysical move, out of this state of feeling like anxious, depressed, or whatever. Maybe it's a physical move. Maybe you're in an environment that is toxic for you, and instead of ignoring the problems, speak up and make action. Do something about it. I love you. Be safe. Drink water and peace.